Today, emergency officials are warning people living along the East Coast that disaster is at their doorstep.
Hurricane Florence is churning off the North Carolina coast. It is now expected to reach land on Friday, a day later than previously forecasted. The storm could stall and batter the coast for 24 hours. Many people have boarded up their homes and headed to higher ground. Widespread evacuations are underway in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia.
Well, now's the time to make that decision to go ahead and get out of town. It's going to be a lousy weekend here, and it's going to be a good weekend to be somewhere else.
The Category 3 hurricane is not only expected to land with a punch, but the storm's impact is expected to be felt for a long time. Rain and widespread flooding are the bigger concerns.
Okay, Raddatz joins us now with more on how Minnesotans are gearing up to help. They're going to need some help, it sounds like.
They certainly will, Frank. And when disaster strikes, Minnesotans are often among the first to respond. Today, we spoke with some local volunteers who are heading south and one well-known sports figure who says his family just evacuated South Carolina. It was a busy day at the Nahama warehouse in Burnsville.
And almost entirely we focus on low and lower income communities, those who have no insurance or very little flood insurance to rely on.
The Jewish Relief Organization is preparing to send down supplies and volunteers to help residents in the Carolinas battening down for Hurricane Florence.
It was bumper to bumper. It was like spring break. It was driving in a parking lot.
St. Paul Saints president Michael Veck is missing the playoffs to help his daughter evacuate out of her Charleston home. Veck and his wife also own a home in the area.
You play all year long for this to end up in the playoffs. You play your whole life to be a parent.
The family, including their dog Gracie, evacuated Tuesday and are now staying put in Florida until the storm blows over.
We could lose both homes, and I think that's just, you know, the roll of the dice. But I got the people that I care about here.
After the storm, Nahama estimates they will fix roughly 21 homes a week. Strangers helping strangers when people need it the most.
This is going to be a storm where the response is measured in months, maybe even years.
Now, the St. Paul Saints do play tonight in Game 2 of the American Association Finals against the Kansas City T-Bones. That starts at 7:05 at CHS Field. If you'd like to volunteer and help through Nahama, we have information on how you can do that at WCCO.com.
And Kate, what about Xcel Energy or other local groups?
Yeah, well, Xcel Energy workers are on standby to see what the storm's damage is and could be called in if needed. Earlier this week, the American Red Cross also sent a group of volunteers so they would be on the ground when disaster hits. Wireless companies like AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint have already brought in generators and backup equipment to help keep cell phone towers up and running during the storm.
All right. Kate, thank you.